Hello, good evening, welcome back to the channel and back to the Mature Racing Club Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship. We're back with the good folks in Elite 1 League, and we're covering their race today from Laguna Seca. So this one directly followed the last race we covered, which was Bathurst. Basically the Bathurst race, one make, everyone qualifies on the same car. This race, however, they get their own pick. They can pick any Group 4 car, so we'll have a look at what they're picking as we go through, and it is reverse grid as well. So Moley, who was unfortunate enough to finish last at Bathurst, gets pole position this time round. So he's in the McLaren 650S, a very capable car. Mr. Dangly Ball, he's in the Sirocco, I think that's what that was called. We've got Chris Mack in the TT. The TT is a very, very popular choice. Probably the fastest car, but can burn its tyres out unless you don't manage it correctly. We've got Marty Ginge, another one in the Volkswagen Sirocco. Ghost Rome in the TT with a really strange livery. JPH, another TT driver. We've got Infinity Decals. He's gone for the Subaru, mate. The logo on the top of that car is the best thing ever. Angus McCoat, Jag for him. I love the dilly on the back as well. Rear Wheel 72 NSX, that was the car I was running as well. Thanks for the logo on the back, Mr. Rear Wheel. Yeah, the NSX is a good car. P1 Don in the Chevrolet. I know from experience, and James Harbin will back me up on this, that car don't like it here. And Fabuki, another McLaren driver. So let's get on with the action, see what happens in this one. Worst camera angle ever, this. But it will change once they go over the hill, so I expect the FFs to get a poor start, so the TTs and the Siroccos won't get away as well. So it will cause a little bit of a cluster down. You see the Jag already in the middle there. The Jag got an absolute flyer of a start. The Subaru bolted as well. Infinity Decals up to P2 already. The Jag up to P3 of Angus McCoat up. Oh, Dangly Ball went for a lovely move down the inside there. Just about made that one work. His compatriot, Marty Ginge, followed him through the TTs then. I'm going to spend a couple of laps catching back up. The first of which, driven there by Chris Mack. He's going to be working hard to get his power advantage. To play. We've got the Corvette doing well of P1 Don. He was pretty much at the back of the grid. Him and Fabuki. It'll be interesting to see how those guys make it through the field, because Fabuki and him had a really good battle last time out. Fabuki in the McLaren, so we'll see how they get through. Anyway, let's cover everyone's first time arrival at the corkscrew. So this corner itself plunges 3 stories, so it's a big old drop down and can really unsettle the cars. You see Moley got it wrong there. We might go back and have a look at that. Infinity Decals in the Subaru got it right. Moley's backwards. Let's have a look at that from his perspective then and just see what happens. Go back a bit further than that. Go inside cockpit. So what's going to happen with this, you're going to probably watch the weight shift on the McLaren. All the weight's at the back going uphill, it suddenly shoots forward and the back goes light, and it'll just turn around here. So he's counter steering it, the back's still loose. Yeah, there we go, we got a floater on, and then the car just spins around and turns around him. There was a car there that just had to get out of its way, and he does a Fast and Furious style J-turn to get himself back in line. Marty Ginge just did the Sebastian Vettel style avoiding of action there. Managed to save it. P1 Don then up to P5. Impressive so far for him, but he's got Chris Mack's attention now, and Chris in that TT is going to make light work of the Corvette in a straight line. In fact, Don's kept it ahead. He got a better traction out of the corner. Meanwhile, Infinity Decals then having to defend a Ghost Realm. Does leave him enough of a gap. Ghost Realm just sticking up the inside. Nice overtake there by Ghost Realm. Angus McCoat up in the Jag, up to P2, and Dangly Ball, who's bolted now because of all that chaos behind him. He was one of the drivers who managed to take the corkscrew nice and cleanly. Joined by Angus McCoat as well. Then Ghost Realm, who just got through to P3. He's going to have the attention of this Subaru for a little while. But I'd imagine the Audi has the power to pull away, and Infinity Decals has got P1 Don right for company as well. Fabuki following him through, importantly, in the McLaren. JPH, Chris Mack both in the TTs with rear wheel there in the NSX. Marty Ginge in that Volkswagen that will be mighty in a straight line. Let's see if anyone else has been in it down here. So far so good. We did see Makoto go a little bit wide there. Everyone else though has got that first lap well out of their mind. So Angus Makoto's lost a ton of time somewhere though. Oh, he got it on there, he got it on the grass, then he got it on the tarmac, then he went too deep and he went back in the gravel and went all off-road. So unfortunately then Angus, that's going to put him down into P10 like Mighty Ginge, and everyone else go back up a spot. Ghost Realm then, the first of the TTs. See P1 Don get a bit of a swap on the exit. Infinity Decal's doing a really good job to hang on to the back of Ghost Realm so far, who just sets the fastest lap of the race at 27.1. What's the distance between him and Dangly Ball? Probably a couple of seconds then. Ghost Realm, what's that livery about, mate? Harley come to daddy, like... Yeah, anyway. What are you doing? You can see the decals that some of the guys put on there regarding Phil. AK Grim 99. So I commented that in the Bathurst video, and you can see him a little bit more clearly here. Some of the drivers putting him on the second car as well, which is really nice to see. In terms of everything else, it's kind of business as usual at the minute in the... we've got Fabuki who's got past P1 Don. I'm guessing that happens on the strip. Don will try and have him here though. Is Fabuki about to get mugged off? I think he's just about going to survive this. Nice little battle here going on. P1 Don's got the inside line. We're going to watch JPH try and go down there as well. Fabuki's now off road, I want to say. Let's have a look with Fabuki. So there's a marauding TT about to appear. Yeah, just gets a bit of a side slap from JPH there. Surely not intentional, just looked like JPH got unbalanced on the curves. And you might even see JPH way up for him just when he gets onto the straight, you never know. You might not have even felt that. But that's put Fabuki down into P9. So unfortunately for Fabuki. So P1 Don up to P4. He's got Ghost Realm ahead of him. I was just going to say Infinity Decals then has got himself up to P2, albeit temporarily. But he's having a good fight here with Ghost Realm for that P2 spot. I want to say the Audi will come out victorious in this because the Audi is a very capable car. But the Subaru's certainly capable as well. Let's just ride on board with Ghost Realm for a second, just see how he's managing to cope with the Subaru. A good opportunity to take some juice in as well. Don't go for a move here, Bailey. Good lad. He didn't. Yeah, so the TT, quickest car, but unless you're an absolute genius at saving tyres, it will be the one that hurts the tyres the most. But it is the quickest. Like some of the fast lads were doing 25s and 26s around here. Oh, he gets it. He whacks the sausage. I know Bailey does like to whack a sausage from time to time, but that's taking it to the extreme. Might even get a track cut penalty for that little excursion there as well. Meanwhile, we've got P1 Don and JPH then. JPH actually ends up going a little bit wide, manages to save it. He's going to have Chris Mack chasing him down. We've got Rear Wheel in the NSX in P7, and we've got Fabuki in P8. He's got a lot of work to do as Fabuki. He's definitely one to watch though. He's got ridiculously good pace as Fabuki, so I think once he gets his head in the game a little bit, he'll be absolutely fine. Infinity Decals, P2 for Infinity Decals so far. And all this is letting Dangly Ball escape away. There's a Dangly Ball now building a fair old gap, so the gap over Infinity Decals is only 3 seconds now. So Infinity Decals is well out of any slipstream lanes that he may have been getting. He's got Ghost Realm to worry about, so the longer those two squabble, the better it is for Dangly Ball. It's helping P1 Don out as well, because he can now start to catch up a little bit. Doing a good job in that Corvette. I saw James Harben try and navigate it around here in Infinity Decals, Infinity GT Manufacturers Series race. Oh, Chris Mack's gone. Oh, he's saved it. Nice driving. He'll get a penalty for that, I think, but that could have been a lot worse for Chris Mack. So, good driving there. from the Halfords driver. Closely followed by Rear Wheel, who had a great race last time, albeit a little bit boring. He might quite enjoy seeing some of the cars this time. He's got JPH all over him. JPH in the TT is just going to have that power advantage and going to be able to go up, but we've got a 4-car fight now with Fabuki joining in this as well. Chris Max backed out of it for some reason. I think he's just getting rid of his penalty. Can Fabuki mug everyone off here and go down the inside? He's going to have a look. He's going to get Rear Wheel, I think. Yeah, he's got Rear Wheel. But just not enough in the tank to get past JPH99, who will live to fight another day for the time being. Infinity Decals and that's P4. Something's happened here. Can we find out what? Oh, it was that. Yeah, he just had a bit of a bad time. So Ghostwell then, P2 for Ghostwell. Mr. Don has got through into P3. I kind of felt with Don's pace it was only a matter of time really. But he's got a bigger challenge ahead of him. He's got a TT now to get past. If Don can just make Bailey work a little bit more, burn those tyres out, that's probably his best shot at getting past the TT. But Don is one of those weird alien drivers that's just got ridiculous pace. Meanwhile, Fabuki's ascent through the field is coming to a halt now. He's got JPH99 to pass. He's not going to be easy to get past in a line. McLaren's a superior handling car, and you'll see it carry more apex speed than the TT can. But the TT just got so much in the tank in terms of acceleration, it's very hard to get a move successfully pulled on them. We'll see how the corkscrew is taken. Nice and tidy by both drivers. JPH arguably pulled a little bit of a gap there actually, and it's starting to break away from Fabuki just a little bit though. Fabuki may well just use a slipstream advantage down the main straight. As we see Infinity Decals up ahead getting rid of a penalty there I think. So he's dropped off a little bit from this fight, but P4 for him at the minute. What's the gap between Dangly Ball and Ghost Realm? 3.1. That might start to come down soon actually. Let's have a little bit of a field recap. So Dangly Ball P1, Ghost Realm P2, Don P3, Infinity Decals P4. Fabuki's now got past JPH. Let's see if we can see where that happened. So it was yeah, down the main straight, maximum suck engaged. JPH does go defensive here, but I think Fabuki's just going to hold on. Yeah, and the door is opened. So JPH actually doesn't defend that one in the end. And Fabuki is able to put his McLaren in P5. Then he'll now get on with the job chasing down Infinity Decals in the Subaru up ahead. So we've got JPH P6, Rear Wheel 72, P7, Mighty Ginge P8, Chris Mack P9, served that penalty a few laps ago. Angus McCart up in the Jag, disappointing because he had a really good start. But just got a bit of a swap on, and then Moley's had an awful one so far. He's just starting lap 7. Whereas most drivers are well into the halfway mark of that lap. So the fight for P1 closing up a fair bit now. You can visually see how close Ghost Realm and Don are to Dangly Ball, who's lapping now in the 27.30s. He made a big mistake last time out, so that's really helped. But the guys behind will be firmly into the 27s, I feel. P1 Don is pretty much using Bailey at this stage as a bit of a slipstreamer. So the Audi TT, a quicker car than the Vet, and Don knows that, and he can just get that TT to punch a hole in the air for him and suck him along for the ride. So Dangly Ball got some defending to do very soon. Some drivers may pit here, but Laguna Seca has a very, very long pit lane, so a pit stop here will cost you in race time about 20 seconds. It's a long time to not really be in the fight, to be fair. So some drivers may even try to wingle out a no stop, so you might be seeing a lot of management happening so far. In terms of order, not much has changed. We do have this scrap going on. So let's see if Mr. Don gets a move on with Bailey. He's gonna look to the inside, but gets on the brakes really early and doesn't actually bother defending it. Sorry, not defending it, attacking for that move. So I think Don might be doing a little bit of management here. Yeah, there's a lot of coasting going on. He's careful when he's putting his power down. So Don is managing tyres here. I'm at this stage in the race. Bailey, what's the gap between them two now? So it's less than a second really between Danglyball and Ghostwell. A little bit further back, Fabuki, we saw him get up to P4. He's trying to get on with the job of catching up now. That McLaren is realistically a car that can hang on to its tyres. Whereas a lot of the cars up ahead of him will struggle with that. The car that's fighting him as well at the minute, JPH, will struggle with that as well. No other direct fights going off so far, so we can just keep a little eye on this fight for the time being. So the Castrol, he smacks the sausage there. So the Castrol car doing a good job at the minute, but it's getting pulled in by these guys. So Ghost Realm and Don firmly on the attack now. You see Don again maximising track limits there and just getting a better exit. Getting pulled along for the ride from Ghost Realm, who doesn't look to be too much on the attack in terms of Danglyball at the minute. He's got within that second, but a little bit of aero wash probably kicking in now and starting to affect the TT's handling maybe a little bit. Following another car will cause understeer, and understeer is bad for tyre wear, so that will be hurting Ghost Realm at the minute. So he either needs to try and get on with it, or just do a bit of coasting through the corners just to save those tyres a little bit. Similar lot of times being set between all these top guys at the moment, but Fabuki not too far behind. What's the gap Fabuki's got? So between Fabuki and Don, it is 3.1 seconds, so it is a pretty big gap that. We'll have a look and see if that comes down. Oh, Don went for a look on Bailey then, backed out a bit. Bailey's having a look at Danglyball. He's trying to measure up the Sirocco driver who sat behind him for a few laps, so I'd imagine he knows where the best place to attack is. We're going to see if Ghost Realm will launch it up the inside. Oh, he pits. Why bother overtaking then if you're going to come in the pits? Makes no sense. So Don is now released into the path of Danglyball. We'll see if the Corvette has it in the tank to get past the VW Sirocco. It's not going to happen this time round. Fabuki that's P3 with Ghost Realm's pit stop. JPX to P4 at the minute. He's been followed by Rear Wheel 72. Rear Wheel then has a big old gap to Mighty Ginge in P6. P7 occupied by Angus. We caught up in the Jag. P8 Infinity Decals. He pitted a few laps ago. And we've got Ghost Realm, Chris Mack in the pits. And moly. Just not enjoying his day out at Laguna Seca. I want to say he's pitted as well, looking at his lap 7 time, so that might explain why he's so far off everybody else, and in fact not far off being lapped by these guys now, as we are now over the halfway point in the race. 16 minutes near enough have elapsed. Knocking on the double. The tyres for the FFs are absolutely going off a cliff now. About 20 minutes or so they tend to last if you don't manage them too well, and then it is game over. I said Danglyball taking liberties with that sausage curb. He's sliding over it most times, but you catch that wrong once and you're gone orbital, so he's got to be careful with that. So we'll see if P1 Don goes for the move down into what is technically turn 2. This little kink here is classified as turn 1, this one they're going around now. Just don't go for it now, gets on the brakes early again. He's gonna go for the exit instead. We saw this on the onboard that he really just reeled Danglyball then on the exit, and he has got a much better exit, but just not enough to reel in the Sirocco. And Fabuki, nice and consistent from Fabuki. He's not pitted yet, but still in the mid to low 27s. JP's pace starting to fall off a little bit now. That tells me his tyres are starting to bleed a little bit. Rear wheel, potentially the same issue for rear wheel, or maybe just a bad lap or two. Angus, I don't think he's pitted. I did check, he's called Darren by the way. And Mighty Ginge getting overtaken there by Ghost Realm. Ghost Realm who pitted a couple of laps ago from P2 or P3? P2. yeah, I mean the TT was always going to kill its tyres. You see Marty Ginger going deep there, but if you managed it well enough, no stops are possible on the TT. It's just a lot to ask of the car. So with about 12 minutes remaining of the race, it seems like it might just be a matter of time until Dangler Ball eventually has to give in, really, because his tyres have died. They are coming up to lap Moley though. That might help him out a little bit. A little bit of traffic could help, because first of all he'll get some slipstream assistance from the McLaren. We just nip on board with Moley. You can see the fight happening behind him. There's a couple more cars pit, so we've got Angus McCullough and Marty Ginger in the pits as well. But nothing really doing in this fight, so it'd be nice to have a few more cars on track, a few more people to talk about, but we've got 11, so that's what we've got at the minute. So Dangler Ball is still holding back the ravaging onslaught from P1 Don. Now let's go on board with Don through the corkscrew section. So your braking zone's uphill, but then you start to veer downhill. You trail brake off here, and you can put the power on your way down. Moley gets out of the way, doesn't want any part of this fight. And he's starting to, I can hear some scrubbing from those tyres, so he's starting to feel it a little bit, but I've got a feeling he's just not going to bother pitting, is Don. He's going to try and no-stop it. Oh, we got a great exit there, got an absolutely great exit, but I had to get out of the power, because he got that good of an exit. He was at risk of slamming into the back of the VW. Let's see if he goes for a move down into the hairpin. Dangler Ball's going to defend this. Don is going to get on the brakes nice and early, look for the cutback. Dan covered it off nicely. Great defending from MRC Dangler Ball there to prevent the overtake, because I saw what Don was doing there. He got on the brakes nice and early and just tried the undercut, and Dangler Ball was wise to it. All this has helped Fabuki though. He's just been able to lap and catch up to this fight. So can Fabuki do anything now? He's lapping high 27s, the guys ahead lapping in the 28s, but that is because they're fighting. True pace has not really been revealed from that Corvette for a little while. Again, another lap passes, another lap where Dangler Ball is leading. We'll probably get another 6 or 7 laps out of this race so far. We'll check in on that. I'll keep an eye on the timing board, see if anything. Oh, is Don going for a move? No. Oh, Dangler Ball's got to cut the track there. He's going to get a little bit of a penalty for it. Like I said last time though, he doesn't have to serve that right away. There's no rule with that. He can just burn that off as he pleases. Let's see what Don's exit's like this time. He's got Fabuki breathing all over him, Don, so... And yeah, Dangler Ball goes offline. I think he's wanting to serve his penalty, but he don't want to slow down, but he's got a McLaren behind him, so he just stays in position then. So Fabuki is up to P2. P1 Don compromised then by Dangler Ball's exit, and that's letting Fabuki take the P2 position from him. Now it's Fabuki's turn to overtake, or try to overtake, the Sirocco. So Dangler Ball under an absolute onslaught here. Fabuki sticks his car alongside, and Fabuki's got the move made very quickly there. And P1 Don's going to try and follow him through as well, and Dangler Ball's going to take this opportunity to try and serve some of that penalty. So unfortunately for Dangler Ball, 15 laps was the amount of time it takes a rampaging amount of aliens to get past you. And these two are now going to duke it out for the lead of the race. So Dangler Ball down to P3, JPH still running P4. Solid performance for JPH at this minute in time. Rear wheel lapping Moley, you can see there. P5 for rear wheel. He has got Ghost Realm coming up behind him though. Ghost Realm lapping faster at the minute on those fresher tyres. And he's just having to get out of the way, trying to get out of the way in the McLaren as well. Infinity Decals, P7 for Infinity Decals. in the Subaru. P8 for Chris Mack has just set a fastest lap of the race, so a 26.8 for Chris Mack that time round, so the pace is coming for that car. He's just put fresh tyres on. Angus McCart up in the Jag, P9 for him, he's set his fastest lap of the race as well just now. Mike Ginger's been in the pits for some fresh boots and he's now setting 27s, and Moley, probably a bit of a race to forget for Moley this one, I'm afraid, right down at the back. Buki, see Infinity Decals in the pits again. That's average second, his third time in the pits. He loves a pit stop, does our Dave. I'm going to take some juice on. So that lap for rear wheel was 29.7, 28.0 for Ghost Rob. Although he's cut the track somewhere because he's got a little bit of a penalty to serve. But Ghost Rob's catching him at the pace of about a second and a bit a lap. So what's the gap? P5, P6, 3.1 seconds, so he should be in position to make an overtake right towards the end of the race, to be fair, so that might be interesting to see how that one pans out. Chris Mack, kind of a race on his own now, same as Angus. Marty Ginge has got Infinity Decals not too far behind him, who's just pitted for fresh tyres, so Marty Ginge might have a fart in his hands for that. Meanwhile, at the top of the tree, Fabuki and P1 Don, as it was at Bathurst, these two guys scrapping it out for top honours here. Fabuki's winning this fight at the minute, but P1 Don's definitely had the busier afternoon, I'd say. He's been trying to get past a VW all night. He's going to try the switcheroo on Fabuki, get the good exit in. Fabuki though in that McLaren is just able to swing it around the outside and retain that P1 spot. A little bit of a cloud of brake dust comes off there, and we're carrying on. JPH P4 for him still. Now that's your order so far. Ghost Rom's in range then. He's up against his P1 compadre, and looked like he was going to have that done at the last corner, but I think the Audi's just going to have the beans on him, and he's just got a better exit, but I think rear wheel got a little bit of a switcher on. So that is now Bailey up to P5, rear wheel P6. Mike Ginge gets a penalty again. Infinity Decals hasn't been catching him at the rate I was expecting him to. Mike Ginge is actually lapping a little bit quicker at the minute, and we've just 4 minutes remaining in this one. All Mighty Ginge really has got to do is keep it on the track. P1 Don dropped back a little bit from Fabuki, not too much though, and with a couple of laps remaining this could still all change. 30 seconds left on the clock then. A couple of drivers going to get extra laps in. Fabuki's going to be one of them. He's pulled a gap over P1 Don. I think the McLaren does hold on to his tyres better, so credit for Fabuki for doing that. P1 Don P2, Dangly Ball P3. Still retaining that position. He's going to get another lap in. Ghost on P4. He's going to get another lap in. JPH P5 for him. Rear wheel P6. Chris Mack probably going to be the first driver to finish. He's going to give us P7. Angus McCart P8 in the Jag. Can't say Jaguar without doing that. Mighty Ginge. Oh, he's got to lose that just to Infinity Decals that right on the line. Let's have a look at this, because this we're getting close. We said this was going to happen, didn't we? But last time we spoke about these guys, Mighty Ginge was actually lapping a little bit quicker. Infinity Decals sorted it out though, and he's had a couple of good laps. He's right on the back end now of the Sirocco. Nice and tidy caught, screwed out by the Subaru driver. He'll have to fresher tyres now. This is all going to come down to the straight then. So Infinity Decals just nice and tidy on the apex, gets a really good run. Sees the final lap flasher come up in the top corner, goes wide to cut back and get the better exit. An absolutely lovely move there by Infinity Decals to secure a P9 finish. So is he going to handbrake it across the line? He's going to try. Mighty Ginge P10, and let's give some coverage to the top 6 then as they come around to finish their final lap. So Scott, aka Fabuki, driving for Michelin on the McLaren 650S GT4, sorry. An excellent race for Fubuki then. He's rampaged his way through the field, took the opportunities when they needed to be taken, drove cleanly and didn't stop all race. So he's going to come to take the checkered flag for the Michelin team and to claim victory in race number 4 of the Elite 1 League. P1 Don can hold his head up high though. He had a lot of work to do in that race. He's going to finish P2. Dangly Ball might be disappointed, or will it lose this to Ghost Realm? No, he's just going to hang on. Might be disappointed, but P3 for Dangly Ball, still an achievement. P4 for Ghost Realm. JPH P5 for him, a good result for JPH, backwards across the line, love it. And then Rear Wheel 72 is going to finish off our classified results in P6. Thanks for watching.